Hello everyone and welcome back to Nara's Tarot. Thank you very much for being here. Today's reading is kind of a fun topic that I thought of. I think it's fun, but it's lost and found, all right? So we're gonna look at something that you lost or that you think you've lost, you know that you've lost in your life, and then guidance from spirit about how you can find it back or what needs to happen for you to regain something, okay? So I do want to caveat that sometimes when we lose something, we may not receive it back in the exact same way, but it might come back to us in a different form, maybe in an even better form as well. So be open to that possibility as well, okay? So we have 3 piles for you today. This is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Feel free to pause the video here if you'd like to take some time to connect with the piles, and otherwise I will see you at your reading. Hello pile 1 and welcome to your reading. So we're going to start off with our tarot cards, and the first 2 cards here will show us what it is that you lost, and you can use this part of the reading as confirmation that this is your pile. And then we're going to take a look at how you can find it or what needs to happen for you to find this thing again, okay? And I did want to mention that sometimes when we lose things in our lives, it is meant to be, it is in our highest good. So I am keeping the guidance of how you will find this pretty open, meaning that if spirit is saying that we're meant to let it go, that will be our guidance. But if there is a way in which you will find it again, we will also channel that in, right? And also I want to mention that sometimes when we lose things, we may not receive it in our lives in the same exact format, but it may come back to us in an even better way. So it's not like a one-to-one replacement. So just want to keep that in mind, okay? The finding part of things is a bit more open in this reading, all right? But anyway, let's just start off with our first 2 cards. We have here the 7 of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. All right, pile 1. So there's something about this situation where you kind of like gave yourself no other choice or no other option but to do this one thing. And you were so tied down or so married to this idea that losing it, or perhaps not even finding it at all, was a very big loss in your heart. This could be that you gave yourself no other option but to succeed, or there was no other way for you to be able to move on in life or do anything else but for this thing to work. Like there was something in your life that you were so insistent that it had to work. And with these 2 cards in reverse, I'm seeing that it hasn't really quite worked out that way. And there are no other options available right now to you, or at least no other options that you can see that are available to you. And that's where things feel a little bit tricky, because where do you go from here? Because all your life, or for a long while, all you had envisioned for yourself was this outcome. The 7 of Cups is somebody looking at 7 cups and they're at the precipice of making a decision, right? And then we have the Ace of Pentacles over here, which is a gift from the universe, something coming in, a very tangible offer in the form of more so something material. So this could be a career, it could be some kind of financial outcome, or a very tangible thing like something that you want to manifest in the 3D, okay? But with these 2 cards in reverse, it basically is saying that you gave yourself no other choice and this had to happen. It was like an ultimatum that you gave to yourself, that you gave to the universe, and it didn't materialize. All right, so there is a feeling of loss over here. And we're also just feeling quite at loss with ourselves about what to do next, okay? So let's take a look at the guidance from Spirit about how you can find the thing that you're looking for. Okay, and we have the 10 of Wands in reverse and the Moon in reverse. So the Moon in reverse is showing that there are illusions that we need to cut out from this situation. And it's really hard for me to sit here to tell you what the illusion is, because this is such a personal journey. I think one of the things that you guys are having a big dilemma over is whether or not you move on from this thing or not. Whether or not you open yourself up to other options in your life, or if you just continue to stick your guns to this one thing and keep pushing on and keep making it happen. And the Moon card over here is not giving a very straightforward answer, because this is a very, very personal journey that you guys are on. The 10 of Wands over here shows that you have already made immense sacrifices in this road, in this journey, and you are at the 10 of Wands, meaning that You're at the end of this journey. All right. The tens are completion, right? In the tarot. So you're at the end of some kind of journey, but it doesn't feel like that. So do you stay or do you leave is the question over here. How long more will this take? It is a big unknown because the moon card is over here, and the moon represents unknowns. It represents the darkness. It represents times when we can't really see ahead of us, and it's calling for us to surrender and to trust the process. Of course, again, easier said than done. Always easier said than done when we're talking about surrendering. But when you're looking for this thing, what I can say for you here is that I don't think the journey is over. Okay? With the Ten of Wands over here, you're at the very, very end of something. But is the ending going to take another 2 months, 2 years, longer? I don't know. We don't know with the moon over here. But it's calling for us to have trust and to realize that this dark night won't always last, right? It's something that we must know deep inside our hearts, that sun will come, right? After the night, there will be sun. There will be a brand new day, a new beginning, a new chapter. So this long period of sacrifice and hard work, it's not going to be this way forever. It feels like it, but it's not going to be that way forever. But when is the big question? And that most likely is that internal lesson that we are going through, to surrender to divine timing, to surrender to the process and the flow and the Tao of life. And this process, this flow, is basically the natural way in which our lives are meant to go. Not trying to force a certain outcome, not trying to jam our way through something, but to go with the most easy path, to go in the direction of least resistance. All right. And the thing about Tao and water is that water flows to the path of least resistance, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have tenacity. It doesn't mean that it avoids challenges. If there's some kind of obstacle that it needs to cut through, water will do that. Water will cut through the rocks. It will make the path possible, but it will find the path of least resistance. So there's something about you over here where finding this thing that you've been looking for, this success, this achievement, this manifestation. All right, finding it will require you to let go of the struggle, let go of suffering with the Ten of Wands. The work continues, but it's the mindset of suffering that we're being called to let go of. And there is something else that will be revealed to you, but not right now. Right now, the focus and our energy is being called to put into a sort of like a focus point on just continuing the path, continuing what we're supposed to do. And why it is therefore important to not dwell on the suffering is because you can then find the path of least resistance. You're not going to make the tough choice just because it's the tough thing to do, just because it's like, there's some kind of ego thing there, like, yeah, I can make the biggest sacrifice, I can do the toughest work, I can this, I can that. Like, no, just do what is necessary and be kind to yourself, be kind to your life, be kind to your body. And kindness is not weakness. Kindness doesn't mean that you don't do hard things. You can do the hard things and be kind to yourself. So it is an unknown, and it is frustrating. I get it. So, but the moon card is really just showing us that this is a lesson of journeying with the unknown and not overly questioning the process or questioning the path ahead of us. Okay, so let us grab our oracle cards now to see what other guidance spirit wants you to know. Okay, we have joy, yeah, and sacred space underneath the deck. You see how joy is over here, and that's, I think, really powerful because this is about enjoying this path. The Ten of Wands is somebody who is carrying so much weight, right? And wand energy is fire energy. So it's very, it's all about how we use our intention or how we project our will, our willpower and our intention into the world, right? And so with the 10 of Wands, this person has already gone from the Ace of Wands all the way to the 10 of Wands. They've carried time after time again their intentions and continue to put it out into the world, regardless of whatever the world throws back at them. They are persistent, they are insistent about the thing that they want. And the 10 of Wands is carrying a huge weight. But we have joy over here. Enjoy the process, enjoy this thing. Joy is a choice, is what Spirit is saying. And the way you can more easily tune into the frequency of joy is through sacred space. This is a time in sacred space with the moon as well. This is a time of solitude. This is a time where being by yourself is going to recharge you massively, because you cancel out the noise, you tune out of all of the chatter, all of the opinions, the judgments, the things that people say, right? We just tune out of it and we listen to ourselves and we make the choice to choose joy, right? Which is quite radical. You could say it's like a rebellious choice even to have to be joyful even in the toughest moments. There's something about joy here that's going to make it so much easier for you to just navigate this thing that you're going through, okay? We then have take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. Yeah. Yes. You guys really need time to just take a moment to yourself. Don't stress, don't pressure, no pressure, no ego as well is what I'm hearing. Ego is, it messes shit up all the time. You know, our ego tells us all these crazy lies and all these crazy stories about ourselves. It spins the worst tales of fear and the worst tales of arrogance, and it's really just it just amplifies the fears in us. So take time to breathe out, disseminating moon, and then you have nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. So you guys feel like, you know, there's some kind of like, you guys, some of you feel like, you know, it's the end. Like you feel like giving up, but nothing is yet set in stone. This is what I was picking up. The journey isn't quite over yet. I don't know what the ending is, and nobody can guarantee success. Nobody can guarantee any outcomes in life, okay? Only you and Spirit know what it is, right? And maybe we don't consciously know, but our higher self knows, our soul knows. But only you and Spirit knows what is in your path. However, at least in this journey, nothing is yet set in stone. So something is still unfolding for you guys, okay? Underneath the deck, we have, a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. And this card also wanted to be seen. Yeah, have faith in your dreams. Exactly. Waxing crescent moon. Okay. So continue to have faith. And we have a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. But if this isn't a romantic thing, Libra is about balance. It's about restoring some kind of harmony. So we're talking about lost and found. There is a harmony here where we lose something and then find something here. So this does tell me that you guys will receive some kind of restoration to your spirit, to your health, to your overall wellness and success in life. So there's something still going on there, so pay attention to what new doors are opening for you, okay? Ooh, let's see what your angels want you to know. We have number 32, renewed connections in reverse, and the keywords are isolated, estranged, separation, and grudge. And let's get you one more. All right. We have here number 16, blessing in disguise in reverse, and the keywords are angst, unaware, significance, and expectation. So trust the process, guys, because some things that didn't work out are blessings in disguise. It may not feel like that now, but it might show itself to you when in time to come. Hindsight is 20/20 over here. Renewed connections over here. I wonder if some of you had to be very intentional about the connections that you let go of in your life in order to do what you wanted to do. Maybe there were certain people that you had to cut out, and you're feeling like you had to pay a big price for this thing with renewed connections in reverse. And you're feeling like there was so much sacrifice made. You have been isolated, you've been estranged, you've separated from people, and yet you haven't received the reward or the payback, at least, from the price you paid. there is a message here about letting this grudge go, because this grudge is this grudge. Your success is your success, right? They might have been connected at some point in time, in the sense that there were certain people or energies that were obstacles in your way to your success. But right now, this matter is separate and it's done. It's been dealt with. Now we're focusing on our blessings. Now we're doing the other things in life. So don't, the message here is not to kind of like enmesh these two things together, right? Because we don't want to be in a space of bitterness or resentfulness even when we have achieved our success, okay? Underneath the deck, we have Raphael, number 7, green, and it says here, love, travel, humor, and vitality. So these things, might be stuff that you guys are wanting to restore in your life. Love, travel, humor, or vitality. So your angels are also helping you to regain these aspects in your life, okay? Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know. We have Akashkwa, your soul's purpose. Yeah. There's something here, you guys, you are on some kind of mission over here. And so many of you feel so convicted, like you feel so strongly about this thing. There's a really strong conviction with you and this path. And so trust that, this is your soul's purpose. This is Spirit's confirmation to you. Underneath the deck, we have Gatekeeper, portal of change. Wow. You guys are at the precipice of a big change, okay? And there is something here where it's kind of like you need to learn this lesson. You need to like really get something to cross this path, to cross this door. That's why we have a gatekeeper here, right? Like we're knocking on this door, but we need to give the password. We need to show something. And this could be a lesson. This could be some kind of process that your soul set up, or maybe spirit kind of set it up with your soul as well. I don't know, right? But only you know. And so if this message resonates, then claim it. But there's some kind of thing here where we're needing to learn almost like this one thing in order to cross this portal of change. All right, so let's see a final affirmation message from Spirit to you, all right, for this reading here. And we have, I don't need to control life. I trust in magic and miracles. Powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. Yes, magic and miracles are coming towards you guys. Underneath the deck, in my heart, I know that good things are coming my way. Yes. Magic, miracles, and good things are coming you guys' way. Okay, so pile number 1, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you are seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well. All right, bye now. Hello pile 2, and welcome to your Lost and Found reading. So we're going to start off with tarot cards over here, and the very first 2 cards will show us what you have lost, and the next 2 cards will show us how you will find it or what needs to happen for you to find it again, okay? And I do want to mention that sometimes when we lose something in our lives, Spirit is saying that it's better that we lose it. It's in our highest good that we do let it go. And if that's the case, that might be the message that comes through over here. And at other times, it might also be a case where we will find something, but in a different form. It's not going to come back to us in the exact same way. It's going to come to us different or better. So I'm keeping the guidance of how we will quote unquote find something in, I'm keeping the guidance more open, okay? So anyway, let us look at your 2 cards first to look at what you have lost. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. Now, the 5 of Pentacles definitely talks about loss, right? If there's one card in the tarot that tells the story of loss, it is the 5 of Pentacles. You see these 2 people kind of like in the middle of a blizzard, and they don't really have much on them. We don't really know their backstory, but it seems like they're not in a good place in life, and they're in search of help or in search of some kind of next step for themselves, right? And above them is a cathedral where they can receive help, and help is available to them, but somehow they're not really noticing that there's help over there. So the whole card kind of depicts a picture of how serendipitous, I think, life can happen in a way that when we're in need, help does come. But we do need to pay attention to when that help comes. Or maybe we're looking for something very different, and the 5 Pentacles above us isn't what we want at all. And so we choose to move on. And I think that kind of is the energy that I'm picking up with you guys here, especially with the 6 of Swords, right? You lost something in your lives. And the 5 of Pentacles is telling me that this thing that you lost can feel quite tangible. It could be something more material that you lost. Maybe it's a career, it's a job, it's finances, it's something more, in the 3D with the pentacle energy. And you guys decided to move on from it. It wasn't worth your while continuing to pursue that line, continuing to pursue the exact thing that you lost. It just wasn't worth it. So mentally, you moved on from it. But I don't know if you guys have fully moved on from it yet, because you're still feeling the effects of it. Like, maybe you're not really going after it per se, but then you're still feeling the effects of the loss. But you're ready to move on. Mentally, you're checked out. You're like, all right, I'm done with this chapter. I'm done with whatever this cost me, because I've paid too much. I've paid my dividends, and I'm ready to go. So in terms of what you lost, I am feeling like this Pao, you've moved on, and I don't know if you want the thing back. I don't know if you want what your life was before the Five of Pentacles. All right, so let's have a look, what Spirit's guidance for you about how you will quote unquote find, the thing. All right, we have here the Star and the Three of Wands in reverse. All right, Pal 2, so you guys aren't looking for this thing for sure with the Three of Wands in reverse. The Three of Wands is somebody who is upright. It shows somebody who is kind of like waiting for their ships to come in. But with this card in reverse, I know for sure that you're not holding your breath, right? For this situation, this thing, or this person, maybe even to return back to your life. However, there is something you're looking for, and you're looking for better. But the thing with the Star over here, the Star is kind of like telling me this message that you don't really exactly know what is better. You don't really know what that North Star is for you, but you still have it in your heart that is what you want. But we're not waiting for the same North Star anymore. We're looking for something different. But these two cards over here are also saying that we don't really exactly know what we're looking for at this point. And the Spirit is also saying that that's fine, because this gives you opportunity to actually shape something entirely new for yourselves. Don't feel too rushed to define what exactly you want in your life, because you don't have to, right? There's a time where we can sit with the void, we can sit with the emptiness and the nothingness, and just allow ourselves to breathe for a little bit without trying to manifest anything, without trying to do anything. The spiritual world, social media is constantly talking about manifestation or achievement or success or getting things, right? But the chase can be very tiring, and I see you guys kind of really being quite tired of chasing after things with the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. So you've moved on, and you're not in a rush to define your next phase of life. And in fact, this moment of peace and quiet could be exactly what you need. And Spirit is calling for you to ground yourself and sink yourself into this healing. Because with the Star in reverse, I'm also feeling some of you kind of like not really wanting to do nothing. The Star is very healing energy. After the Tower comes the Star. So after like a huge breakdown, we receive this healing, and we receive this kind of like, we return back to a space of into that space with Star, with the Source, we return back to a more kind of like cosmic journey and healing. And that happens after a big breakdown, right? Where we kind of like just sit back and be in the cradle of the universe, in the cradle of our own sacred space in our own homes, and just be with ourselves for a bit. And so some of you are feeling a little bit like you don't know if you can sit still and just be doing nothing. You can, all right, you can. And the next thing will open itself up to you when it's time to come. For now, it's healing time. It's time for rest. It's time for nothing. Okay, so let's see what else Spirit wants you to know with our oracle cards next. All right, we have self-love and transformation. Yeah, transformation here with the caterpillar. This is exactly the feeling that you guys are like what we were describing over here, because the caterpillar is journeying through the void, right? I mean, the caterpillar gets kind of like remade into a butterfly, The caterpillar goes through the cocoon and goes into a butterfly. So there is a process of remaking yourself happening over here. And in this process, we're being called to remember to love ourselves. When you're going through a breakdown, sometimes it can feel very rough. It can feel like something has gone wrong with your life, especially when everybody else seems to be moving on, but you seem to be stuck here just trying to figure things out. Don't judge yourself for that. Don't punish yourself for that. Continue to love and take care of yourself and be kind to yourself, even in this process of transformation, okay? Underneath that, we have to retreat. Yeah, this is a time of healing. It's a time to just retreat back into your own sacred space, back into more times of quiet. You might just feel like, spending more time alone as well. Like maybe you don't want to be too social these days. You don't want to be too out and about. Maybe you don't really have much to say, right? And if that's the case, that's okay. Maybe you don't even have much to think about. Like you don't even want to be thinking, processing, healing, like that. You don't want to do any of that. You just want to and do life, right? Just wake up, do your chores, go to work, take care of your body. Like to just do life stuff is already in and of itself healing, okay? So that's the thing, doing the bare minimum. Just do the bare minimum is absolutely fine over here. And even the bare minimum isn't that bare because it's probably what you guys need. I feel like some of you haven't even been able to meet your basic needs for a while. Like you've not been eating well, you've not been sleeping well. Maybe some of you haven't really been taking care of your health. And if that's the case, this is the time to do it. Just go and do those life stuff, okay? Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know. All right, and we have nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Yeah, I mean, things are still in flux, especially with transformation here. And so don't be too quick to judge that your journey is over or that, you're a failure or any kind of like very self-critical things that you might be telling yourself. Nothing is yet set in stone, okay? And then we have the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So behind the scenes, things are still happening, especially with transformation over here. I mean, you don't see the cocoon in action, right? The cocoon looks pretty still, but then it is transforming into a butterfly. There's something pretty magical going on. So behind the scenes, energetically speaking, change is still happening. So there is some kind of like growth that's happening in the soil, in the darkness that we don't see. There's some kind of, your guides are working on something, the universe is working on something for you, and you're not seeing it, and that's okay. For now, all that your job is to take care of yourself. All right, let's see what your angels want you to know. All right, we have number 25, have confidence, strength, balance, prepared, and tranquil. Okay, so another thing that's happening in your life right now might be that you're just doing a huge balancing act of the fact that your life still goes on, right? But then you also have to deal with this challenge in your heart, this pain. Even for some of you, I'm hearing like it's a pretty big deal, right? Whatever this Five of Pentacles was, I'm even hearing anguish for some of you. Like it's a big deal that you lost something. But then there's also this other part where, work doesn't stop, or maybe obligations or certain responsibilities in your life still have to continue, right? And so there's a huge balancing act going on. Your guides and your angels are definitely helping you to be able to cross this hurdle, right? This person, he or she, is kind of like on a tightrope in the mountains and kind of like having to cross some kind of big challenge. Mountains do represent big challenges that we go through in a spiritual sense. So you are being supported to walk this path. Okay, so have confidence, keep walking. It is in these times when we feel very stretched that it can feel very also kind of like unstable. Is that the word? Unstable. Yeah, we feel unstable because there's so much that we're trying to manage. But just know that your guides and your angels are helping you, okay? Underneath that, we have Uriel 11 with red, and the keywords are emotions, healing, devotion, and integrated. So yeah, you're being healed. You see this angel kind of like behind this lady over here and just helping her to heal her heart and just giving energy and giving love back to her. Your angels are definitely supporting you in this journey, okay? So you're not alone. I think some of you feel very alone with the Five of Pentacles. You feel like maybe you feel a sense of abandonment from spirit or the universe, and you feel like you've been forgotten as well. You're definitely not forgotten, right? Spirit's definitely right there with you, working with you. All right, let's see what else you need to know. We have Rain Dancer horsing around, and underneath the deck we've got Wonder, see the world through the eyes of a child. Yeah. You can let go and you can just allow spirit to take the wheel, okay? And when I say allow spirit, right, like I mean that let your life be, let your life be. Just the way like a child is, right? You think of a child, you know, they have their parents to be responsible for them. And a child maybe doesn't really have that much to worry about, you know, seeing the world through the eyes of a child over here and horsing around. This is you just enjoying life and engaging in more play. Things have been too serious for a long time, and your inner adult is extremely burnt out, right? And the inner child is also feeling pretty stressed out because they haven't had a chance to play in a long while. They've been also hustling together with you, right? And so your inner child is also saying that life will work itself out. Remember those times when you could rely and really depend on someone in your life. This is that same energy of spirit being your divine support, spirit being your pillar. And you can lean on spirit over here. You can trust, you can surrender, you can just let go, and life will work itself out. There's something magical going on here. And by magical, it just simply means that we cannot explain it. We don't have the words for it, but it is working itself out. Okay, so just enjoy life. In the meantime, just do the things that we do in the meantime. What's that? Take care of life, right? Go do your chores. Go drink water. Go take care of your body. Do all of those things, and there's something about this situation that will just work itself out, okay? Let's get you some final affirmations here to see what else Spirit wants you to know. All right, and the two cards we have, the more I trust in life, the better things turn out. What were we saying? What were we saying? And then we also have, nothing is impossible for the heart. Love will always find a way, okay? Underneath the deck, we have, I trust myself, I am wise, I am brave. Amazing. So pile number 2, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you in future as well, all right? Bye now. All right, hello pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we're going to start off the reading with the 2 tarot cards here to look at the situation in which you had lost something. And then we'll get guidance from Spirit about how you will find it or what needs to happen for you to find it, okay? And I do want to mention that in terms of losing things, sometimes it is in our highest good to lose something and we ought to let it go. And sometimes if we've lost something, it may come back to us not in the same form, but in an even better or different way, okay? So we are going to keep the guidance part of this reading quite open. So if Spirit is saying that it's better to lose something, that might be the message that comes through. We don't know yet, all right? So anyway, we will unfold together and take a look at the first 2 cards that you have here in terms of what you lost. And we have here the 6 of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Cups over here. So I kind of feel like for many of you, there was someone or something that made you a promise, right? That they were going to be able to give you something, or that something was going to happen if you put in this work, that you were going to be repaid with some kind of reward, and that just didn't come through with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse over here. And you lost a lot of time and effort and resources perhaps to this promise that someone made to you. The interesting thing is the Page of Cups over here is saying that there's something about this situation that was on a deeper level, you didn't really lose, because there were things in which you gained. It was just not the way that you thought you would have gained something. You know, you might have gained friends along the way. Sometimes when we put in a lot of energy, maybe you put in a lot of energy, for instance, right, into a community, and you thought that you were going to be repaid with some kind of a success or reward, and you didn't, but you gained friends along the way. This is a career, for instance, you maybe gain skills along the way, very invaluable skill sets that you can use in the future, but just not perhaps the income or the rank that you were looking for in the career. The Page of Cups also is something unexpected that you receive out of all of this. It's not as satisfying as actually receiving the thing that you were promised, but it's not that bad. With the Page of Cups here, it's like, it's still a decent thing that you got. And you might be feeling, I feel like for many of you, you don't actually feel like you lost something. Like you were just not repaid what you were told that you were going to be given. But overall, like, you're still in pretty good spirits because you know that you still gained something. You've gained either in experience or in some other thing, all right? However, Six of Pentacles is still in reverse, all right? So we're still looking for that thing. We still want it. We're okay with whatever we gained, but we're not losing sight of that. So let's have a look at what is Spirit's guidance to you, okay? And we have here the Magician in reverse. Whoa. The Three of Cups in reverse, as well as the Suspended One or the Hanged Man in reverse as well. Okay, pile number 3. I think some of you are deciding to go independent. With all of these cards here, you're thinking about doing it your way because clearly whatever this person or this situation said was gonna work, it didn't quite work, and you were following their method, their process, it didn't work out for you. Now with the Magician and the Hangman in reverse, this is you considering to do things your way. And you may not have a way yet. You may not know what are your steps, your unique instructions, right, from the universe or from your higher self with Magician in reverse. But the first thing to reconcile is to go independent. And if this is something that you have already been thinking of, then this reading is confirmation of that, meaning you've been thinking of going on your own way, of maybe starting your own business or becoming or staying on your own, for instance, moving out or moving to a new city. If there's anything that you're thinking of doing on your own, in your own terms, then this part of the message is confirmation of that, okay? Because the Three of Pentacles is you guys kind of like wanting to withdraw from being in some kind of a team or some kind of like a collaborative environment, because it's actually not collaborative. It's actually uncollaborative, right? With the Three of Pentacles in reverse. You realize that you can't be the magician that you are in this environment that you're in. And it's kind of like stunting your growth with Hangman. Like Hangman, after Hangman is death, right? And after death is when we can actually push through some kind of transformation. But if we don't allow ourselves to go through that transformation of death, we'll always be in a weird limbo, which is what the Hangman is, right? And many of you already feel that. You know that you're not meant to be here. You know that with the Hangman in reverse, you kind of like overstate your welcome as well. Like, this is just not your place. And you can't be the magician and be upside down like the Hangman. Like, it just doesn't work. You can't be a magician in a place that doesn't recognize your magic, or that a place that doesn't allow your magic to shine. So how you will find the thing that you're looking for with whatever it is with the Six of Pentacles here, you find it by doing it yourself, meaning that you give yourself the opportunity, you create the thing, right? Because the Six of Pentacles shows somebody else giving. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith image, there's someone giving their pentacles or their coins to other people, right? There's a giving energy there. But with that card in reverse and the Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Three of Cups. Ooh, I've been calling this the Three of Pentacles. This is the Three of Cups. Yeah, again, Three of Cups is also that energy of relationships and people just not wanting to work together. There is a lack of harmony, okay? So you're receiving this thing not from anybody else but from yourself. Be it your career success, be it a certain outcome that you're looking out for, that's going to come from you. You're going to create it, Magician. All right, let's get you your oracle cards now to see what else Spirit wants you to know. We have grounding, number 36. Underneath the deck, we have omens 31. Okay, so watch out for signs and omens. I mean, there is a eagle here, or is this an owl? But if there are some kind of birds that constantly appear around you, know that that's an omen for you, right? It's some kind of a sign or confirmation from spirit. But grounding feels like what's necessary now because you guys are in a hangman in reverse position. Like not only are you being hanged upside down, you're like doubly hanged, you know. And this in sort of in real life, it could mean that not only are you in a position that you're not meant to be in, you're giving too much energy into that position. Like for instance, you're in a job that you're not meant to be in, but you're still devoting like overtime hours to this job. You're doing more than what's already needed, and it's just not working out. I feel like the hangman is just like doing something that's not meant for you almost like twice over. Be it like you're in a relationship and it's not meant for you, or you're living in some kind of a home and it's not a place that's meant for you, but you're still paying an insane amount of rent on it. Like this is too much. And we're being called to like ground back down to what we want. And what you truly want could really scare you, and that's why grounding is here. It might really scare you to put your feet down or to put your foot down to say that's what I want. Right? That just saying that, just claiming the thing that you want could be very scary. And that's why we have omens as well. That's why we have grounding, because grounding helps us to release the fears, and omens will tell you that this is for you. Spirit is coming through again and again and again to tell you and remind you of who you are and what's meant for you. And that could help you to let go of the fears because you're receiving confirmations over and over again. Like it's getting hard to ignore that the signs are there, okay? I do want to mention that I'm very drawn to this feather on this card as well. So if you see feathers, that might also be another sign for you guys, okay? Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know about what you're losing/finding. And we have prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. Yeah, look at that, guys. And I'm just going to rearrange the cards a little bit, but prosperity lies ahead. You guys are so you're in like a very good time. This is very good confirmation that you will do well when you do things on your own. You know, going independent is a very prosperous road ahead. So good things lie ahead for you, okay? And then underneath the deck, we have expect powerful change, new moon eclipse, okay? So you can expect certain things to be removed in your life, number one. But it's also therefore giving you the possibility to bring new things in with this powerful change, okay? Let's see what your angels want you to know about this situation. Whoa! Okay, I dropped my cards, but give me 1 second, I'll pick it up. All right, the card that dropped was Sandal Fawn, number 9, turquoise, and it says here, forgiveness, seeking, freedom, and healing. We then have Hanail, number 4, silver, and it's in reverse, and it says here, ordinary, blocked, disheveled, and embarrassed. And then we also have number 29, perfect timing, auspicious, clockwork, planning, and patience. Yes, underneath the deck, we have number 38, spirit relationships in reverse, and it says here, blocked, disconnected, burnout, and scared. Okay, I really feel like some of you are feeling a little bit self-critical because of the journey that you've went on, right? And it could feel like, you know, we were maybe how do you put it? Like, you know, if somebody promised us something, we put in all this effort and then we didn't get what they said that we would get. I mean, I would feel shitty about that situation too. I might even feel like I was cheated. You know, some of you might have felt like, you know, you've wasted a lot of time and you're feeling really kind of like disappointed, right, by that situation. Yeah, I think disappointment is the word over here. Embarrassed as well, you know, with this Haniel card over here that's coming through. But that's why we have perfect timing. And it was the energy of the Page of Cups that as well that comes through, because there's something about this situation that was like, in the grand scheme of things, it was maybe meant to be. And we don't know why we go through challenging situations, but sometimes they show us exactly what our soul needs, or it's some kind of soul journey that is exactly meant for us, right? I don't know what you gained from this situation, but you gained something for sure. You gained some kind of blessing, and you are in the perfect time right now with perfect timing. You are in the right place, right time now to actually claim your prosperity, okay? So let go. Forgiveness, healing is coming through. Let go of that past chapter. It's time to move on into your new era of magic, all right, magician over here. It's time to move on to this new era of abundance for yourself, all right? Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know. We have ambassador, invincibility of spirit. Yeah, like you guys are forgetting how strong you are, how much of a strength and how much fighting spirit there is inside of you, and also how much spirit, how strong spirit is, you know. I don't really think we can describe spirit in terms of like strength. That's not really the right word, but there's something about the universe, right, that is greater than all of us. And we have to remember that. We have to remember that our soul's path is invincible. And if we were to follow our path, if we were to go do the thing that we said we would do this lifetime, it would make us invincible. There's something really quite magical about your road here. And as long as you don't give up, all right, as long as you don't give up, especially with magician, especially with hangman, as long as you don't give up on your path, nobody can stop you. Not what people say. You know, I mean, somebody may have said something to you and it didn't work out, but that's on them, all right? Your soul's path and your soul's journey continues. That might not have worked out for them, but it doesn't mean that you don't work your life out, because your life is gonna work, your path is gonna work, because you're gonna make it work. All right, not because somebody else said something or said something misguided, or maybe they miscalculated. All right, maybe it's not, they're not at fault, right? They also miscalculated something. But whatever the case may be, your life is going to work because you are going to make it work. And that's the invincibility of spirit and of your spirit, okay? Underneath the deck, we have nightmare. Ooh, waking up to yourself. You guys, holy shit. You're waking up to some kind of big truth inside of you. And it might have felt like you lived through a nightmare. But what this nightmare is actually showing you is who you are. That you are not somebody who is going to retreat or back down just because you face some kind of challenge. In fact, it only makes you stronger. It only makes you bolder. It kind of like is actually making you, like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger vibes, you know? Like, this horse looks pretty damn muscular. Like, they have got it, and they have so much fighting spirit in them because they have awakened to their own inner power, their inner strength. So, I mean, there's nothing stopping you guys. Nothing can stop you guys from achieving what you said you would achieve in this lifetime, okay? Let's get you some final affirmation cards from Spirit to you for this reading. And we have here, everything is going to be okay. Yeah, everything is going to be okay because you are going to make everything okay. But yes, everything is going to be okay. Amazing. And underneath the deck, we have, I'm thankful for many things and my gratitude attracts abundance into my life, okay? So pile number 3, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very, very much for being here. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you're seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well, okay? Bye now.